The world is changing, and in ways we weren't prepared for. Unexplained phenomena are emerging all over the world. No warnings, no explanations, just images that prove something extraordinary is already here. What you're going to see today isn't just lights in the sky. We're talking about flaming openings that look like portals to other dimensions emerging in Texas. Forests that seem to breathe, rhythmically, as if the earth itself were alive beneath our feet. Underwater glitches and sounds of ancient giants awakening in deep mines in China. But here's what the authorities don't want you to discuss. While experts try to label everything as natural events or optical illusions, the government maintains a disturbing silence about records of objects creating artificial clouds and atmospheric manipulations that appear to be out of control. Looking at these records, do you believe we are witnessing the biblical signs of the end times? Or are we just guinea pigs? Secret climate modification experiments which finally came to light? Leave your opinion in the comments now. What you see by the end of this video may completely change your perception of reality.
Underwater glow. After setting out for a fishing trip, the boat owner got lost in the darkness when something very strange began to happen. At a very shallow depth, he noticed a large, bright mass in the dark ocean, illuminating the entire surrounding area as if it were a sun or a realistic replica of one, with marine life moving around it and the water not boiling.
We can safely say that this was just a light. However, whether it was natural or artificial remains a mystery. Before we begin, like and subscribe to stay updated, because these strange moments around the world shouldn't exist. Fire opening. In the skies over Austin, Texas, an unknown celestial phenomenon began to occur. A kind of flaming opening formed just after the accumulation of dark clouds. In moments, what seemed like a portal to another dimension transformed into something like a bright yellow orb in the sky. Many interpreted this as a biblical sign or a harbinger of the end of the world. Following this dramatic sighting, some of those present at the scene mentioned that the animal had disappeared as mysteriously as it had appeared.
Water on fire. During a visit to Mocha Island in Chile, a tourist recorded a bizarre phenomenon that shocked him. The seawater gushing out under pressure was somehow on fire. Experts believe the phenomenon is natural, caused by the release of ethanol gases underwater, which ignite upon contact with the surface. However, the cause of the intense flame remains a mystery. Red crack. Shortly before a heavy rainstorm, a witness in the residential area of Erie, Pennsylvania, noticed something very strange in the sky. Amidst the strong gust of wind, a bright red light was seen hidden in a very thin layer of clouds. After lasting only a few seconds, it disappeared in the blink of an eye. The possibility of it being some kind of spacecraft or UFO was ruled out by experts, who believe it to be something like the opening of a portal. Illuminated ray. Residents of the village of Shemerden, Russia, began spotting a bright column of light that appeared out of nowhere in the early hours of February 5th, 2026. The brightest glow was on the horizon, followed by a beam of light that spread across the rest of the sky. Initially, they thought it was the sun, until they realized it had barely risen. Some began calling it a divine sign, while others thought it was some kind of portal opening. The phenomenon that was occurring was considered natural and unique, so the government and authorities remained silent. Starting construction. On January 9th, residents of a small neighborhood in Centralia, Pennsylvania, began noticing smoke rising from the ground. Shortly after, reports indicated that the ground had begun to give way, with a magma-like material seen burning underground. Due to fear of what was happening, the extent of the problem, and the toxic gases, the area was evacuated in record time,
Although most attributed the incident to a natural event or calamity, others began to blame the poor infrastructure.
Respiratory forest. Hikers traversing a dense forest in Quebec witnessed a strange natural phenomenon on October 16, 2018, where the entire forest floor appeared to rise and fall, as if the earth itself were breathing. The ground moved in slow waves, and the trees swayed in sync with the terrain's movement, making the forest seem alive and pulsating beneath their feet. The hikers watched in amazement as the ground continued to shift across a vast area of the forest. Later, the movement was explained as being caused by strong winds pushing the trees, causing their roots to lift portions of loose soil. Even with the explanation, the sight of the breathing forest remained an unforgettable memory of nature's unusual behavior.
Many moons. On the eve of February 1st, 2026, residents of St. Petersburg, Russia, briefly witnessed the appearance of 4 creatures at dusk. These moons were very close to each other, one of them being much brighter. To find logical explanations, many possibilities were considered, from signs of the end times to optical illusions and natural phenomena such as the parasol. It is said that this sighting lasted a short time, and considering the series of geopolitical events, many believed it to be a divine sign of the end times. Bizarre cloud formation. Over Richmond, Virginia, witnesses were alarmed by a very strange cloud formation. Although it was compared to the Arcus cloud, residents had never seen a sky like that in their entire lives. This led to a series of speculations, even suggesting the possibility that it was the result of cloud seeding and modification programs in the United States. Others would say that this is just a crazy conspiracy theory. You decide. A bizarre effect in the sky? I wasn't supposed to know this. Portland residents observed an unusual formation in the sky on May 16, 2025. During the afternoon, a nearly perfect circular opening appeared in the cloud layer, with the sun positioned directly in its center, projecting a faint and strangely discreet glow. The dim light gave the place a sinister atmosphere, attracting the attention of many people who stopped to observe the strange formation. What on earth is that? The unusual sight quickly sparked curiosity and speculation among the witnesses. Experts later observed that such formations can occur due to rare atmospheric conditions involving cloud structure and the scattering of sunlight, although the moment remained impressive for those who witnessed it. Divided sky. While driving along a rural road, the driver encountered a very strange phenomenon and immediately stopped the car to film it. An invisible line divided the sky in two, with completely different sides. On one side, it was raining, and on the other, it was dry. Despite the skepticism of many viewers, the source assured that it was not an edit, artificial effect, or filter, but a real phenomenon. After traveling a few meters, the car literally went from dry pavement to wet pavement in seconds. Bright anomalies. Somewhere in the sky over San Antonio, something strange appeared inside a cloud, and nobody knew what it was. Dozens of bright lights suddenly illuminated the night sky above a quiet neighborhood, looking like either a swarm of meteors or unidentified flying objects. Witnesses recorded the moment and described the lights forming unusual patterns within the cloud itself. The brief spectacle quickly caught attention online, with some suggesting it might have been a rare atmospheric event, while others speculated that the phenomenon could involve something far more unusual.
Switzerland's opening. In the outskirts of Zurich, local residents witnessed a unique phenomenon that began in the sky. It all began with a large, spiraling cloud formation before an intense, visible glow appeared within the cloud mass, almost as if it were the invocation or opening of a portal to another dimension, although nothing was seen coming from within it or even entering it. According to witnesses, it seemed to have been created by natural causes, or at least it was made to appear so. Fire phenomenon.
This video was posted on Twitter on October 3rd, 2025, showing a very strange phenomenon in Cleveland, where the entire area and streets were mysteriously illuminated by flames. A large amount of smoke could be seen rising from all sides, leaving everyone present shocked and confused by what had happened. In the video, it is possible to see that both the flame and the smoke moved along with it, which for some reason did not seem to be a cause for panic. The exact cause of the incident remains only speculation, with no confirmation as to what may have caused it.
Stacking ice. With the ice melting, this fascinating scene was captured by a drone. The images show the moment when the winds pushing the broken pieces of ice from Lake Superior caused them to accumulate in one spot, creating this stunning landscape. These solid pieces of ice, however, were gradually melting and looked like shards of glass, which sparked the attention and interest of all social media users when they came across the video. Burning sands. While crossing the Sahara Desert along a narrow bank, a lone nomad came upon a strange and unsettling sight emerging from the sand. In the middle of the arid landscape, there was a large opening in the ground, and from within it, flames repeatedly erupted upwards before receding into the depths. The fire trembled intensely, while the surrounding sand seemed to move and slide towards the heat, as if being slowly drawn inwards. The scene was silent, yet impactful, giving the impression that the earth itself was spewing bursts of fire from below. With no apparent source or explanation, the unusual phenomenon left many wondering if it was caused by hidden gases underground or by some other rare natural event.
Intermittent red sky. Just over a week ago, unusual flashes lit up the night sky over Albuquerque, startling residents who witnessed the clouds suddenly turn red. The glow appeared to emanate from the cloud formation itself, spreading across a large area of the horizon in seconds. Despite the intense illumination, no clear source was seen from the ground. The strange event left many observers intrigued, with some attributing it to rare atmospheric activity, while others questioned the intensity and proximity of the phenomenon. Without any official explanation, the images continue to circulate online, leaving viewers debating whether it was simply a natural phenomenon or something more unusual. Inverted waterfall. During a visit to the Faroe Islands on June 9th, 2024, a tourist witnessed an unusual scene on the coast. A waterfall appeared to flow upwards instead of falling towards the sea. The jet of water seemed to rise into the air as if gravity were reversed, creating a striking visual effect that intrigued observers. Although strong coastal winds were initially suspected, the effect persisted long enough to leave many observers puzzled. The unusual scene quickly caught attention online, with some viewers suggesting natural wind patterns as the cause, while others speculated on more unusual explanations for the gravity-defying phenomenon. Strange lights. A resident of a remote area of Vancouver, Canada, left his property to investigate a strange lightning phenomenon that had begun to occur suddenly. Since the source filmed this from an elevated position, they discovered that the effect was very different from the usual lightning effect. It's unclear, as neither the source nor the experts have been able to determine whether the cause is artificial, natural, or extraterrestrial. Strange snow effect. A father and son recorded and shared this video showing the very strange behavior of freshly fallen snow when exposed directly to fire. Instead of melting into the water as expected, the snow darkened, formed charred patches, and seemed to resist immediate melting. In another video, the person recording showed phenomena occurring around the ice on a frozen lake, where the ice broke apart, creating pillars. Some viewers speculated that the snow could be artificial or contaminated, while others suggested natural explanations related to impurities, heat distribution, or the structure of compacted snow. The truth about this remains a mystery.
Underground noise.
These images were recently filmed at an undisclosed location in China, where hundreds, if not thousands of miners began to flee suddenly. According to the video's audio, a loud sound can be heard in the background, almost as if some ancient giant had awakened. Either that, or the area was forbidden by some curse and should never have been discovered, much less disturbed. With censorship in place, the exact origin of the sound or what happened next remains uncertain.
Discharge from the sky. In the outskirts of Colorado, witnesses observed a strange celestial phenomenon. A single, intense column of light appeared to descend from the clouds toward the ground. Unlike ordinary lightning, the bright vertical beam remained visible for a few moments, appearing dense and exceptionally concentrated. While other flashes briefly illuminated the surrounding sky, this discharge remained constant, forming what seemed to be a continuous connection between heaven and earth. Those who witnessed it described the phenomenon as unusual and fascinating. Some observers suggested it could be a rare plasma discharge or an unusual atmospheric luminous event, although its compact and prolonged appearance sets it apart from the brief flashes normally expected to be seen in the sky.
Formation of concentrated clouds. On September 6, 2025, residents of Islamabad noticed an unusual concentration of towering cumulonimbus clouds forming in one part of the sky, accompanied by intense lightning. The dramatic scene quickly caught the attention of the entire city, with many observers describing the cloud mass as strangely localized, producing a brief but powerful burst of rain in a confined area. Meteorologists explain the event as a result of changes in atmospheric patterns and unstable atmospheric conditions. However, the impressive appearance of the clouds generated widespread discussion online, with some people suggesting more unusual explanations and relating the phenomenon to regional geological activity and the occurrence of a lunar eclipse at the same time.
Bright spot. The footage was taken when he was out for a walk in his neighborhood in Edmonton, Canada, and noticed something very strange. A specific spot near the sidewalk was mysteriously glowing, and the recording began shortly after he started observing the phenomenon, even before he investigated. Despite digging to look for the source of the glow, which seemed to be at a shallow depth, he found nothing but a pile of snow. The second explanation considered was a chemical reaction. The same snow was not sparkling after being moved from that location, and it could not have come from the night sky, leaving the cause of this phenomenon a mystery. Underwater fault. While exploring the area, the person who recorded this video noticed a very strange scene and decided to film it. In the video, it is possible to see a group of people sitting together as if they were having a meal, but underwater. It is known that the waters in that region are extremely deep, and the area is far from any human civilization. This almost seemed like an optical illusion, which the source could neither confirm nor investigate personally.
Strange cloud effect. In the skies over Tupelo, Mississippi, local residents witnessed a very strange cloud descending from the sky on January 29, 2025. At dusk, a huge, mysterious cloud appeared in the sky, almost like a giant spaceship, releasing large volumes of dense smoke that looked like a large amount of falling water. Throughout its visibility, it remained motionless, gradually drawing everyone's attention. Some attributed it to a strange natural phenomenon, while others were convinced it was something far more serious. Desert illusion. Imagine crossing the desert for hours and coming across what appears to be a lake, but that's not the case here. A lone motorcyclist venturing through the Namibian dunes thought he had found a large lake, until, upon approaching, he discovered it was a level, rocky terrain that gave it the appearance of a body of water. This illusion is certainly the last thing a weary traveler would want to encounter after the restoration of hope.
Red sprite. Unusual flashes of red light were recorded in the upper atmosphere when an astronomer in Tibet captured a rare form of lightning known as red sprite on June 27, 2025. Unlike ordinary lightning, these brief crimson bursts appear high above the clouds and usually last only fractions of a second. The impressive phenomenon is rarely seen from the ground, which makes the footage particularly remarkable. A similar recording, made by another person aboard a commercial airliner flying over the Bay of Bengal, also showed these flashes, highlighting how these high-altitude discharges differ drastically from the typical lightning effect we usually observe. Midnight disturbance. A young woman in Washington, D.C., was awakened in the middle of the night by repeated flashes of light and loud bangs echoing across the sky. Confused by the disturbance, she looked around trying to understand what was happening, and soon her neighbors also began to wake up and come out of their homes. Initially, many suspected that a serious fault at a nearby power plant might be causing the flashes and noise, but this possibility was later ruled out. With the sky still overcast and no obvious source visible, the exact cause of the strange event remained a mystery. Light that changes shape. On March 1, 2026, the night sky over Toronto, Canada, was suddenly illuminated by an unknown green light. This luminous signature continuously changed shape throughout the observation period, alternating between what appeared to be a green orb or a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and what may have been the illuminated outline of a portal. Witnesses observed the phenomenon throughout, attempting to decipher it, as its silence made it impossible to precisely identify its nature. Although the possibility of it being a natural phenomenon is widely accepted, many also consider the hypothesis that it is a secret signal. Lightning in the sky. A pedestrian walking in a park in New Jersey late at night witnessed a series of unusual flashes that suddenly appeared in the night sky. The explosions resembled a strange mixture of lightning or chaotic cloud clashes, but they did not follow any normal lighting pattern. Although scientists have not yet found a clear explanation, some online observers speculate that the phenomenon may be linked to experimental cloud engineering or the residual effects of such interventions. Others suggest that it may represent a rare and unexplained anomaly, giving the impression of a subtle flaw in the natural order of the sky. We have reached the end of this journey into the unknown, but the questions are only beginning. We have witnessed phenomena that defy logic, from breathing forest in Quebec, even the mystery of many moons in St. Petersburg. The world is changing in ways we weren't prepared for, and what was once considered impossible is now recorded on video for anyone who wants to see. Be the reverse waterfall in the Faroe Islands or the divided heaven between the rain and the sun, by an invisible line, nature seems to be operating under new and strange rules. While experts try to explain the vibrant sunsets in the United Arab Emirates as Rayleigh scattering or the burning sands of the Sahara as hidden gases, many cases, such as the mysterious glow in Edmonton and the sounds of giants in Chinese mines, remain without any official explanation. Are we witnessing only rare natural phenomena? Or are these signs of external interventions and technologies that we can barely comprehend? What you saw today shouldn't exist, but here we are. If you want to continue following these extraordinary events and stay informed about what's happening around the globe, leave your likes and subscribe to the channel right now. Your survival and understanding of the new world may depend on your attention to detail. See you in the next mystery. Stay safe.